Indiana's new abortion law is in the hands of the state's highest court. Supreme Court justices heard arguments on the near total ban just today, and the law remains on hold while this and other legal challenges play out. It would ban abortion from the point of conception, with a few exceptions in cases of rape or incest, or to protect the health of the mother and the fetus. Fox 59 State House reporter Kristen Eskow shows us what happened inside the chamber today.
The hearing lasted about 70 minutes. No decision was made, but the justices had several questions for the attorneys on both sides of this case. The lawsuit focuses on an alleged right to privacy violation under the Indiana Constitution. Indiana's near-total ban on abortion arrives at the Indiana Supreme Court. The hearing comes months after a group of abortion providers sued the state, arguing the abortion law violates Hoosiers' right to privacy under the state constitution.
Those who wrote the Indiana Constitution did not understand abortion to be a right protected by the Constitution.
The trial court.
Indiana Solicitor General Tom Fisher is hoping to get the abortion ban back into effect after a temporary injunction was issued in September. One justice questioned Fisher about the law's ban on abortion clinics from performing abortions that are allowed under the law's exceptions.
They can't perform even the legal abortions.
No, that's right. They have to become hospitals or ASCs. There's nothing prohibiting them from doing that.
While Fisher argued the state constitution's right to life protection blocks the right to an abortion,
We have to demonstrate.
Ken Falk of the ACLU of Indiana argues the right to liberty protection guarantees it.
What difference does it make?
The justices questioned Falk about the balance of the two.
We have never equated the life of the woman with the potentiality of life that is the fetus.
Meanwhile, Planned Parenthood, one of the plaintiffs on the lawsuit, says it's seeing more patients coming to Indiana from other states where abortion is banned. Rebecca Gibron says her team will help Hoosiers find services in other states if the law goes back into effect.
It is unconscionable that anyone should have to leave their home state to access basic health care.
There was also some discussion on whether the justices should rule only on the preliminary injunction or the merits of the case. The justices did not give a timeline for how soon they may issue a ruling. At the State House, Kristen Eskow, Fox 59 News.
So while that was going on, a group held a rally against abortion bans on the second floor of the State House.
Yeah, we found a couple dozen people who wanted to have their say today. The group wasn't allowed inside the judicial chambers with their shirts and signs showing pro-abortion rights messages. The demonstration was led by a group called Mutually Assured Democracy. The organizers tell us they expect this debate to go on for a while longer still.
I don't see any reason why they would stop trying to do this. The conservatives and the Republicans of our state have a very specific plan. They are very organized, much respect for that. But I don't see them stopping, and I don't see me stopping.
Monday, the anti-abortion group Right to Life Indiana will host another march through downtown Indianapolis. They plan to end up at the south steps of the State House.